I was not very a fan of the show. I mean, I guess it's because, I mean, all my favorites are kind of gone. I mean, I don't see Rollins. I don't see Cesaro. I mean, this is all circumstances, but I do think it lends itself to a bad show. And plus, if Sheamus having the belt is not as bad, they then deplete him by putting him just a member of the faction. They just put him in as a lackey for Triple H. And not only is he the lackey, no, he's one of 3 little lackeys for Triple H. He's nothing. This belt means jack shit.
Did I just tell you that? Because that's the thing. As soon as the fucking belt...
No, I think putting it on Sheamus definitely brings it down. More so than it being on Rollins.
The idea that the champion is subservient to the authority brings it down that much more.
I know, and then that's the whole... I mean, I get it. That's the storyline we're supposed to be watching. We're supposed to want to cheer for Roman Reigns to, bring the belt over the authority. But then do it. Don't. What the fuck do you have it on Sheamus for? Like, I'm not.
Get it on Sheamus because he's like Charlotte Flair. He's a placeholder.
Yeah. Well, then you got 2 placeholder champions, and no one gives a shit.
Who has the tag team belt?
Oh, the New Day.
New Day. They're placeholders too.
What? No way.
They're becoming more and more gimmicky.
But they're not placeholders. I feel like the New Day is like still.
They're placeholders till the fucking Usos get it back.
No, the Usos are getting diluted, man. People like the Lucha Dragons more, man. Lucha Dragons are still in their thunder, in the fans' eyes.
I love the Lucha Dragons so much.
Exactly, man. No one likes it. Why would you want to see like some half-ass, like suicide dives when you can see some fucking awesome-ass lucha? Like it's like, I can't explain. But we'll go in. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon talk way too long. And then Roman Reigns comes out, or Sheamus comes out, Roman Reigns comes out, and Rusev attacks Roman Reigns. They book the match later on in the show, Rusev versus Rusev versus Roman Reigns, and then they also book at TLC Sheamus versus Roman Reigns in a TLC match.
Yeah, because Roman Reigns actually comes out, he demands a rematch tonight.
Yeah,
because he actually won the
title 5 minutes and 15 seconds.
The title that he is entitled to a title match, and he wanted to invoke it today. Now, the difference between, say, what the books say and what the authority wants to do, you don't spear Triple H and get away with it. You got to fall suit to the suit.
Yeah.
And then, you got Stephanie McMahon trying to neuter Roman Reigns, and he calls that shit out. He looks at Triple H like, "Hey, this is the person that's what be doing your dirty work. Let a woman do this shit." Everyone's going, "Oh!" But before we go any further, the Nashville crowd made Atlanta look like the Sahara Desert, even though it was a desert. It was the Atlanta desert. This Nashville crowd, kudos to you guys. You guys made this Monday night really worth a damn. So instead of being able to book the show for the night, to book the match that night, Triple H is like, "Fuck you, you're not getting a match tonight. We're gonna book it for TLC, but you're gonna face Rusev." And that's him going up against the grain, and we see the second piece to the new authority. The second piece to the new authority. We got Sheamus, because who was authority before?
The authority before was Kane, Rollins, and I guess a year or two ago it was, or a few months ago it was J&J Security.
And the Big Show.
And the Big Show.
So now we're getting a whole new lineup.
Yeah, a new version of the same fucking shit we've seen for years.
Yeah, it's a chosen champion, and 2 lackeys. 2, 3
but
lackeys.
But it's like the champion.
But we find out later who the third man is.
Yeah.
Whose side is he on?
But it's like the champion doesn't look any better than the lackeys. It's just a faction. It's just like, it means nothing to have the belt on Sheamus. I know,
because the belt means nothing. Don't you get it?
It meant something when Rollins had it.
It didn't mean shit. You mean to tell me his little back and forth with Kane made that belt look like something?
No.
That his little piece of shit feud with Sting made that belt seem like something?
No, what made it seem like something was that he, first of all, took it off of Brock, someone that no one could beat, even John Cena, and he got that way from stabbing his friends in the back. So people had...
He didn't beat Brock. He beat Reigns.
No, he came out and took it from Brock, and Brock then is pissed. So then you know that this monster guy's pissed at him, and then you know that he betrayed his friends. So therefore, you're emotionally invested in that. You're like, okay, fuck that, fuck turning your back on your friends, and you're gonna get your ass kicked by Brock Lesnar. Putting it on Sheamus is just like, fuck you. No one, dude.
You want this belt to mean something so bad when you got a guy in and PM Sunk.
He had it.
PM Sunk had that fucking belt for how long?
For a long, long time, and I feel like that made it mean something again.
It meant nothing. It didn't main event anything.
No, having it for a long time makes it mean something. So then when it goes off of you, it's an event. Having it vacant and then having
you got a main event with that belt.
Why? I mean, they obviously he was popular enough to main event. They just never did it. They never did it. It was.
Please tell me, Jake.
He was obviously one of the most popular. They could have obviously had a main event, but they just didn't have a main event because of some backstage bullshit.
Please tell me, Jake, that you're really running with this idea that the main event doesn't have to be the belt. Are you telling me that that's okay?
I'm telling you that that's okay. No, but I'm telling you that is not indicative of the champion not being over or not being worth anything. That's indicative of bad decision-making in the back and not going with the fans.
Which results in a crappy belt. And it's sad.
But CM Punk did not do that, and Seth Rollins, I think they did their best.
I didn't say he did it. I'm saying as a byproduct of him.
And that was years ago, man.
A byproduct of PM Sunk holding that fucking belt for that long and it not main eventing has nothing to do with him or it. It has everything to do with the decision of what they're making that belt out to be. You mean to tell me the belt right now has to go to another subservient fucking champion?
No, I'm not saying that at all. I don't know why I don't know how you're getting that through my words. I do not think that it should be on Sheamus. I do not like this whole idea of making a new authority. It's just awful.
What I'm saying is the belt is garbage because they treat it like garbage. It's not because...
If they put it on Roman Reigns, it would have elevated the belt a little bit.
You know what? If Sheamus was not subservient off the bat to an authoritative figure, then yes, you know what? I think that belt could have a little strength to it. But he's nothing but a hand. This is all about Triple H.
Sure.
You know the show, Wrestling Isn't Wrestling, that whole thing? That's what that entire thing was about. Those were the last words at the end. It's like, if you can't beat a champion, you get to choose the champion. So he holds more weight in the fact that he chooses the champion than the actual champion himself. Like, this is the bad booking. This is why
But it shouldn't be so transparent. It should not be so transparent.
Belt is garbage. This is why a Roman Reigns versus Triple H would mean much more than him defending or even going after the championship.
It could be one and the same, though. You could have Roman...
Sorry.
Why?
Because you know what? The belt was chosen to be on someone. It wasn't earned.
I know. That is a problem. I don't know why you're thinking I'm saying that's not.
No. I'm trying to get you to understand.
I get what you're saying, yeah, but the belt does mean something.
It hasn't meant anything for a while. And I apologize to cut you off.
And I think it meant the most when Brock Lesnar had it, and it was off television. And like you said, the authoritative figure didn't have it. I think it meant a little something. Like, it was at least interesting when Rollins had it. But now, if you look back at the last few years, you have Daniel Bryan, who never got a rematch for his title.
But his reign was dumb.
Yeah, but I'm saying they took the belt of him, never gave it back, and then they put it, and then a few more champions, they put it on Rollins, never gave it back. He's not gonna. So now you have these two champions. I mean, two because of injuries, who people see as the champion. And they're not the champion. So Sheamus is actually like one of three champions. It's a weird ass.
Rollins was booked as a joke, as a champ. He was a joke. You mean what? What? A feud with Kane. Ooh.
I think his in ring made the most of what he was given, and I don't think Sheamus can do that. Sheamus's in ring is lacking at best.
I think Sheamus is good. It's just a matter of who you put him up against.
Yeah, that's not a champion. A champion needs to be good against anybody.
This is all right. We're going into philosophy now, and we gonna go to the Dudleys versus the Wyatt family, who look like a bunch of jabronis. The Brothers of Destruction got away, and so we're just going to beat up someone else. That's what that was.
The other brothers.
That's what it was. Like, I was just like, what? I wouldn't even brought it up. I wouldn't even brought up the Brothers of Destruction, because that made them look so dumb. It reminded me of Stardust when he finally got done with his like Neville feud, and it was just like, okay, I'm done with that, jabroni. What next? And it was like, those kids got away. On to the next. It's like, that made them look dumber than the actual loss at Survivor Series.
I mean, I guess I don't know. I am looking forward to this feud, though, the Dudleys versus the Wyatts. I think it's going to be a good brawling feud, especially going into a pay-per-view like TLC, like the hardcore style.
But the Wyatts won this clean as a motherfucker.
No. Braun came out and choked him out. Got DQ'd.
No. Wyatts won.
Oh.
The Wyatts won. And then they came in to pick the bones.
Well, I think that's going to build to a feud, man.
That's done. That's the Dudleys. What the fuck are they on TV still for?
I think it's going to be a smaller feud that the Wyatts are going to get like maybe a little heat back.
Ooh, you know what? Because like, fuck this. This is like, there's bigger fish to fry than the damn Dudleys. I assure you right now. And I think they're gonna probably focus on somebody else. Someone has to go down in flames. Who? I don't know.
I think maybe the Usos, and then that way you can do like the Lucha Dragons versus the New Day feud while having the Usos feud, you know, seemingly bigger, heating them up to go against the New Day.
I can't think of anything that makes sense right now. The only thing, because someone has to turn, I feel like they're going to go out there, because who the fuck could they go after? I mean, I think the most interesting of them all, if it's just Bray versus one other person, or that team versus, say, they outnumber a tag team, would be the Primetime Players.
No way. It's the Primetime Players are way down the fucking line, man.
And the Wyatts are just as far down the line.
No, they lost to the Undertaker. The Primetime Players lose to like nobody. They're nothing. The Usos are above them. The Lucha Dragons are above them. Or you could put them up against like Ziggler or somebody.
But here's the thing.
You would not put them up against.
But we find out later on that there's a fucking, you know, moving forward, there's already a program set in place with the Usos and the Lucha Dragons and the New Day.
Sure.
What I mean,
then you would do like a Ziggler or a single guy. You would not. The Primetime Players are.
You would have to turn. Well, I mean, if they went after Ziggler, there would have to be a reason. I guess it's vanity. He would go after his vanity.
Sure.
But so that means who just beat him? Tyler Breeze. So boom, it's not like that's going to make much anything.
That's way better than the Primetime Players.
No, I just threw it out there.
Oh well, it's whatever.
So I mean, this is whatever. This is a squash match. You know, the Dudleys should just go. I mean, away. There's no real purpose for them. They're not in the title hunt. They were primed for the picking. So that's what that was, to make the Wyatts look somewhat strong and relevant again.
Yeah, for sure. Then we go on to Sasha Banks versus Becky Lynch. Good match, not as good as the matches they could do. Not as good as the main event, if you guys watched that. But I liked how Becky Lynch lured her into the disarmor, but then Naomi and Tamina distracted her. Sasha Banks rolls her up for the pin. Definitely left you wanting a little more. I think this is going to lead to more, and I think it's going to be a really good match. Maybe on a SmackDown, hopefully next Raw, so I can see it.
There's a monkey wrench in your theory, though.
What?
The fact that Team Bad and Natalya are feuding. Because they set
Wouldn't Becky Lynch and Natalya just team up, and then that would be like how they would?
We'll see. Well, I mean, we'll see. I'm just saying in general, like, I mean, you just said this looks like a good feud. Well, I was like that, but that's the problem. Maybe they would team up because PCB's done. Charlotte's on her, PCB's done. Flair is in her feud with Paige, and then you have, Becky Lynch on the outskirts. You have Team Bad, who is still like probably has the most valuable player on the roster right now in Sasha Banks. If they do somehow Natalya shows up, hey, Becky, I'm still on your side, and we can take out these bitches. You still need a third, because you still need a third. You need a third player.
No. You just don't have Tamina wrestle. Tamina's garbage. You have her as the muscle. You have her as the Braun Strowman. Stand on the outside. You can do things like pull their legs, things like that. Tamina's garbage. You can't really have her wrestle. She only looks good because of her size. So keep her. So only show her size. And then you have Natty and Becky versus Sasha and Naomi, 4 great workers.
But if she's on the outside being a fucking thorn, don't you think there should be a equalizer? At least somebody on the outside to be like, yo, like, stay in your lane while these 4 competitors go at it.
No, you set it up to where she gets kicked to the back, or you set it up to where Natty does a high spot, because or you set it up to where Naomi does a high spot where Natty moves out the way and takes her out. You can do it. Just
okay. Tamina outside the ring is probably best for business, but it's still suspense if she's on the outside as an element.
Yeah.
You can even build more suspense if there's someone on the other side of face. Now, again, who else? What are we left with? What are we left with in the Divas division outside of, say, what's already going on and the potential Natty, and then who could potentially be?
I don't think you would do. No, I think that's how they get the heat, is having another person. I understand that,
but you know how it goes, man. They've been booking to where it doesn't make sense. So what doesn't make sense is their equalizer. They should be able to be a 3-on-2 thing and have Natalya has Tamina, but there has to be even Stevens here. Who is that possible person that's left on the outskirts as of now that could be a third person?
There isn't any.
A face Brie?
Oh God, no! Don't.
I'm just saying, dude.
Don't bring the Bellas out. I don't like the Bellas. I think
a Rosa Mendez?
Maybe bring Bayley up.
No, you can't bring Bayley up. Her hands are so full in NXT. She has work for eons down there now.
I'm just saying. No, I mean just for the match, just for this match purposes.
Her hands are already full. She has like 3 girls going after her right now.
I'm just saying.
And a big ass one too.
You're asking me who it would be. That's who I would pick. Like that's my pick.
I said
Bayley.
left that has nothing going on though.
Well, why would I wouldn't pick someone who has nothing going on. I don't know. Who are you talking about?
I'm not talking. Maybe there's a return.
I don't think that it would be. I think that takes away from Team Bad's heel heat is having a third face out there.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
So don't do it. Don't only have 2-on-3 to make it to build the heat.
I am talking in third person. I am someone. I'm speaking. It makes no sense. I understand what you're saying, but like, since when did things make sense in the WWE? You know who our champion is, bro? All right. That's all I'm saying. So,
well, I mean, I can't.
If there could be a possible third person that could actually be equalizer, just make a guess, or unless you don't want to.
I cannot do it. I don't know who else would be left on the roster that you would do that. That would make sense. Like I can't. Like
a face Brie.
No, or you would have, not necessarily a part of the feud, but if you have it as like a mystery opponent, you just have the champion come out and help out her buddies, not necessarily as a part of the feud, but just to equalize the feud in the 6-man tag that you're
Thank you. That's all I was asking for.
Well, but I don't think that would work. I don't think that that's good. Like you said, because
you gave an answer. That was all I wanted. That made sense. That's awesome.
But the parameters of the question were that it has nothing else going on.
Well, she just all right, what happened? What happened here? Oh, no. So, yeah, you're right. She doesn't have anything going on.
No, Paige jumped her. She's still in this feud with Paige because she didn't technically win because her arms were outside.
But doesn't she face her in this match?
She faces her and Paige jumps her and puts her on the table. So she's going to get revenge from that. So she has that going on.
So they didn't do they did the rematch tonight.
They did the rematch, and that's what happened during the rematch, Peter. It was was that they left him. Paige threw into the steps, got disqualified, tore up the table, and then did the spot on the table.
Oh, I see. Where is that? Where is that in that?
It's coming up. It's coming up.
Nah, I'd much rather not talk. If you want to talk about it now, since it's already brought up.
Okay, yeah, no. I mean, that's just what happened. It was an alright match. I think that they had a better match on the pay-per-view, but I think they're just going to build to another match.
The crowd was much better with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, double. It was a double count out. Ended up being a double count out. PTO on the
I think
table.
Paige is a lot better at being a heel than a face, and it's kind of interesting to see that because I thought like she was going to be like the new Lita, you know, face all the time. But I think I like her as a heel. I think she's better at doing promos as a heel, and I think she likes being a heel better.
What does this turn out to be at TLC? Is it gonna be a tables match? Like who puts who on a table to do a move? Like this is what it really is because this is leading to TLC, and it's like PTO unannounced table twice. One on
you think
Becky
it's
Lynch.
Be the Divas table match?
Divas tables match, but it's not a Divas tables match. It's Divas. If you're able to put your submission on the table,
They have like
on
a
the
platform
person,
in the ring.
yeah, on the person, that's you win. You don't have to necessarily put the person through the table. It's like, because it's not like the PTO is that much more devastating on an announced table. So,
Yeah,
you know,
this is true. But this is the first time the Divas have ever done anything like it, like that, like on a table. And this is like the twice in the matter of 3 weeks that she has done that. So I don't.
But it didn't make the move that much more
Yeah,
devastating.
I know exactly what you're saying.
So
yeah.
like moving into it's edgy, I guess. So that's all I can think of moving forward to this is like, well, it looks like it's going to be on submission on a table match.
There you go.
When that shit comes back to being it, man, I'm gonna give up.
You gotta set the table up. You gotta do your submission on there.
So I mean, let's run through so we get the New Day first annual Country Music Jamboree WWE Tag Team Championship Open Challenge.
They looked ridiculous. You had Kofi Kingston with the unicorn horn. You had Big E dressed up like a little cowboy, and then Xavier Woods always looks ridiculous carrying that trombone. This was fucking.
Well, this is definitely jumping up the shark of this gimmick.
They lost their shit. I can see like them, and then they had the
those unicorn
pink unicorn like horse sticks like Chavo used to have in WCW. This is just. I mean, if you were flipping through the channels, there's probably no way you decided like this is going to be compelling.
It's probably the most lackluster shoot or burying of a city I've seen since they've been shooting, and they weren't necessarily shooting on Nashville because there's not really much going on in Nashville.
Country music.
Yeah, they shit on country music, and it was just like, well, country music. Well, Nashville is known for country music, but Nashville it's like the music capital of the world. So it's like everything going on, whether it's stop yawning between country music, between blues, between R&B, and things of that nature. And all they could do is sit there and talk shit about country music. I'm like, dude, y'all are better than this. Y'all are above this. And then there's a part, I didn't really pick up on it, and I was listening to Wade Keller, and he was talking about a part that disappointed him in the promo is how Kofi Kingston actually broke character to say it. It's like, nah, this just isn't my character speaking. This is me speaking, like, wholeheartedly. And he was just like, I missed it. And it's like...
I missed that too, but yeah, are you saying now every time you talk, like, that you can't really break the fourth wall saying that? Like,
well, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon,
they do it all the time.
Well, her Twitter account says she plays a bad person on TV.
Well, fuck that.
So, I mean,
Triple H hugging that kid that one time because he cried, like...
We could, I think that was needed, though. It was off camera. That was something that wasn't supposed to have been known. That someone caught that. That wasn't on camera. So, they get it. I will always give a green... I always give them the go card for that. That's okay. It was off camera. It wasn't supposed to be broadcast. But it happened because the kid seemed distraught,
Yeah, well, and then Kofi...
No, they just shot on country music. They could have done better. Mama, don't let your grandbabies grow up to be booty, whatever. Lucha Dragons come out and they want to take on the challenge, right? And then the Usos come out and they're like, "Nah, dude, we want it." And then Sin Cara goes, "Well, we were here first, but let's make this a three-way." It's like, no, get the fuck out of here, Usos.
Yeah.
Y'all are pulling in some heel shit right now.
Yeah.
Like, we were here first, get the fuck out of here. Fuck a three-way. And for Sin Cara to be like, all right, we'll just have a three-way then, bro. It's just like, this was 10 minutes long of kind of...
nothing.
Yeah, they could have done better than that. And I guess that moves this match into possibly a three-way ladders match going into TLC.
Yeah, they only have 3 weeks to build till TLC, so I think that's what they were kind of doing. They have to like kind of rush through all these angles, and I guess this was a product of that.
They canceled the Open Challenge, and Woods catch a fucking double, fucking super kick in stereo.
Mm-hmm. And then we have my favorite match of the night. I would definitely say Mark Henry versus Neville.
Oh God!
I really liked how they. I mean, of course they played into the dynamic of the big guy versus little guy, but they did a very good job of like Mark Henry like back him into the corner, finally catching him, and then they did where Neville lured him into the corner after he was a little smarter than that, and then got away with his quickness to set up for the Red Era. I mean, you could obviously see what was going on.
As soon as Mark Henry showed up, I knew he was putting somebody over.
Yeah, I mean that's what he does now.
But that's the thing. You're milking as much Mark Henry can contribute to the business as you can right now. But that well goes dry. That milk runs out of that udder. And how many times can you use Mark Henry to put... Because he's put over, just recently, Roman Reigns. He put over... Who did he put over? Rusev.
Rusev. I mean, even at that, like he lost a feud to Bo Dallas.
Yeah. So just it's like you can't... Is it a credible putting over of the thing? Because I think the match itself, the fact that Neville won, okay, that's good. It's what happened at the end, what made more of what just happened than anything. Him walking up, looking like he's about to fucking whoop his ass. He extends his hand and he hits him, kind of taps him on the chest. Is like, what does he say? You're gonna be good, boy. You're gonna be good. And like, that was kind of heartfelt. Because I go like, yeah, if there was one person that would say that to me and I thought it would mean something, it would be Mark Henry. Mm. He has that old man sort of logic to him, where it's like, it's coming from him, it's really deep down, it's personal. He agreed to go out there and do the job. You know what I'm saying? When he put over Roman Reigns, I don't think he really wanted to do it.
Yeah, they took the time where he shook Neville's hand and everything.
Yeah, and so, I mean, again, how much time did this guy got left?
I mean, these matches aren't really that hard on the body. I think I can see him do maybe even 2-3 years.
I say get him the fuck out of there. Him doing the job is not going to mean anything anymore after a certain amount of time. I hope he goes out. I would say give him... If I was to say what I would do with Mark Henry moving forward, I would just keep him off TV. I would put him in the Royal Rumble, have him eliminate like 2-3 guys. Hell, I would even put him in the final 4. And then I would have him win the Andre the Giant Battle Royal and then call it a career.
Yeah, that would be good. Go off into the sunset.
Yeah, dude, that'd be awesome. They don't do nothing with that fucking thing anyway. And plus, he can go into the Hall of Fame with his, he won the Battle Royal. He eliminated Braun Strowman at the very end.
Yeah, that would be nice. That'd be nice. You ran a nice little fairy tale for him.
Dude, I love Mark Henry. I wouldn't have it any other fucking way.
I hear you.
If anything, I would have him beat The Undertaker. like, don't make me book a fairy tale for fucking Mark Henry. This is at least believable.
Yeah, and then we go into the Stardust promo where Titus O'Neil
just shows up.
Is in this room that Stardust is always in, and burns himself on a star. Talks about all these like elements that exist in space, and they get in a fight about titanium.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Yeah, it was kind of but it built to this match with Goldust and the Primetime Players versus Stardust and the Ascension. Good to see Goldust back.
Goldust is the man!
Yeah, good to see him back. He probably helps out a lot with house shows. I would say him and the Dudley Boys,
he helps out because he's fucking Goldust. All right.
Darren Young had a really good belly to belly in this match. Did you see it? It was like very slow motion.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful.
It was nice. Michael Cole even made mention of it, but I think it should have been more people need to talk about that because how smooth and slow it was. I think
I thought it was going to be short actually.
Yeah, Darren Young I don't think he's like complete, but he'll show glimpses of just being just textbook.
I think he is awesome. He's just too vanilla. Way too vanilla.
Yeah.
There's nothing about him. I mean, he's just an explosive dude. He's very explosive, and he can generate heat. He allows himself to go down. No pun intended. But he's a great athlete, man. I would, what would be great if Jason Jordan. You know, like.
I think Jason Jordan is really good, especially his size and everything. I know he's in this great tag team now in NXT, but when they bring him up, I can see him being a world champion.
Well, he's so young. They can't rush it, though. Like, I would see him as a champion, like, in his 30s, not as soon as he came up.
Sure,
I would see him, like, you know, do the natural route. Like, let him, you know, win some, lose some, put him in a tag team. You know, put him in a tag team with fucking Darren Young.
No, man. Gable and Jordan are perfect.
Well, Gable's not coming up the same time Jordan's coming up.
You don't think
Gable's going to stay down there for quite some time.
Why would you say that?
Because they're going to need him down there. They don't necessarily need Jordan down there. They need Gable down there. Gable is NXT. He is... If they were to have an NXT, like, Hall of Fame, first ballot. First
Gable
fucking ballot. You know what I'm saying?
He hadn't been there for very long.
But it's called impact, man. That's how much of an impact that guy's made. Now, Jordan, he's been there already. He's been there. You could call him up at any time. You could bring him and fucking Baron Corbin up, you know? And they wouldn't be missed so much down at NXT.
Jordan's, I would say, leagues better than Corbin. Like.
No, but we're not going to that conversation. I'm just saying in general, like, if you take, you know, Gable out, he would be missed.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's all I'm saying. But I only brought that up as like, well, both of them have that same kind of explosive strength, kind of sneaky strength. Yeah. You see the athleticism, but the sneaky strength, that old man strength that Darren Young has, I would almost compare it to the strength of a Cesaro. A guy that you wouldn't think would be that strong, but next thing you know, he's fucking one arm suplexing you from the outside the ring. It's like, what? Where'd that come from?
And then we went into
a failed attempt with a New Day win with the Clash of the Titans, and you get a failed millions of dollars dance with Goldust. He should have just turned it down altogether. He should have just fuck off me with your millions of dollars and bounced.
I mean, everyone wants money, man. I mean, I don't know.
It's Goldust. It's Goldust. He has gold. He doesn't need millions of dollars.
Maybe.
Fuck out of here with your millions of dollars. I got gold.
And then we had Del Rio and Zeb come out. Swagger comes out. It's kind of weird that they're going back to this feud, especially with Swagger, you know, pretty much existing on Superstars for the past 2 years.
Yeah, what happened to your Superstar show?
Oh, I told you, man. I did it once, and I was just like, I can't do this. This is not good. It's not fun.
Was it grand opening, grand closing on the podcast itself?
No, I didn't put it up.
Put it up!
No, it was like 4 minutes, man. It's like easy to review that show, man. It's like these. So I might do main event. I was saying. I think main event's more what I was thinking of. But Superstars, it's like it's literally like 30, 40 minutes of recaps of Raw, which you don't really want to review that. But then if you actually go into the new content, it takes you like 4 or 5 minutes to review it. It's not. It would be nothing. It would be like, you know what I mean? Like
it was your idea, dude. I told you. So, and there's another thing I told you as well.
What?
That I'm owed my fifth. You remember our Cesaro section bet?
What was the bet?
That the Cesaro section signs would be gone by some Survivor Series.
He wasn't there. I think that's like.
Well, they're gone by default now.
Well, come on.
No, it doesn't matter. I said they'll be gone by Survivor Series. We will not see Cesaro section signs for quite some time.
That might not be true, man. We might still see him.
I won the bet.
Right,
Hook or crook. I cashed in my money in the bank and I won that belt. But like, here's the thing about this. It's the Mex American is basically the real Americans flipped on its head. It's a bizarro world. So I don't mind the feud. I think even the first time around it had heat. I don't see no different than this having heat. It's the fact that, well, who's the racist this time? Who's the Mexican guy is the racist this time with Zeb Culture, and not the white bread Oklahoma white guy is the racist.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just a bizarre world of who wins. Obviously, I have Del Rio go over in this feud.
Yeah, of course. I think they brought Del Rio back and they wanted to make an impact, but they just didn't know what to do after that.
This shit has heat. It has heat, instant heat. It's your patriotic feud. That shit was awesome. The fucking Nashville crowd. This was the hottest. This was the hottest moment of the night. USA, you can't lose. Jack Swagger is destined to have that USA, heat, and why the fuck not? Like, it's great, it's cool. When Cena didn't have that USC heat that Jack Swagger had when he faced Rusev, now he's facing Del Rio and Zeb Coulter. Dude, he stood up. He's like, put your hand over your heart. We the people. Boom, instant heat, man. And dude, it's what it is. It's what it is. It's cheap. It's cheap. It's cheap as fuck. But it's what it is. And that's what this feud is going to get. And going forward, to any and all fucking things moving forward, this is going to have more heat on it than anything on moving forward in terms of feuds.
In terms of feuds?
Yes. In terms of
feuds.
Yeah,
I would say that this is more of a like a cut and dry feud, like who's feuding with who, no run-ins, no nothing,
Add water, stir.
Yeah. And then we have
God, we got so much.
Speaking of hot feuds, we have Heath Slater out there with a guitar. Ryback comes out to stop him from singing these awful country songs. Heath Slater gets pissed, hits him with a guitar. Ryback no-sells it, kicks his ass, shell shocks him. I'm surprised this was made it to Raw. This seems like this could have been just like a way to kick off the crowd in the house. Or
It was a second trolling of country music in Nashville, which was definitely not needed. But
yeah,
Heath Slater, I was watching it with a friend, and she was like, who's this guy? I go, don't worry, he's not going to sing, okay? Like, he doesn't know how to sing. That's the whole point. As soon as he gets ready to sing, someone's going to come out. I told her that. Like, and then when he goes, and he does the clearing of his throat, and as soon as he's about to start, that's when Ryback comes out. And I said, I told you. Yeah. And I'm sitting here explaining to her the whole routine of it all. And I was like, well, what about the guitar? Is he going to get hit with the guitar? I go, he'll probably get hit with the guitar. And then he hits the guitar at Ryback. Yeah. They're supposed to have a match. He just gets destroyed. Ryback, you know what? I don't know what the fuck you do with Ryback now. Heath Slater, again, this was just a comedy skit. This was just something to put Ryback, give something Ryback to do.
Yeah.
But this could have... Oh, dude, that and the fucking JBL Torito spot, like the Hardy's Carl Jr. shit. Like 2 segments. What?
Yeah, weird stuff. I think it brought the crowd down for this tag match that I think would have normally been real hot. Breeze and Owens versus Ziggler and Dean. Mid-card hell, for sure. What do you think of this match, Peter?
Okay. The entire storyline to this had nothing to do with the tag team at all. It's the fact that Owens and Ambrose are in a tag team, makeshift tag team, for the evening. Ambrose and Owens is the attention. Not so much Breeze and Ziggler, because Breeze just kicked the fuck out of Ziggler's ass. Like, who cares? What the fuck? Who cares? But Owens wanted no part of Ambrose the entire match, and that's the storyline. Them moving forward, I see them having a street brawl for TLC.
Yeah,
no holds barred. TLC, they're gonna have kendo sticks, they're gonna have trash cans, just a straight hardcore match. That's moving forward.
I think that'd be pretty good.
Just as long as Ambrose do not touch Owens whatsoever. It would only be effective. I will care about this match going if Ambrose doesn't lay a single finger on fucking Owens, and Owens just cheap shots and cheap shots and cheap shots and cheap shots. But that's not going to happen. Owens is going to get hit in the fucking dirty D's at some point. He's going to catch a kendo stick to the face or something at some point before the match. And that's where I'm just going to, all right, that's just come up. It's why even do the match now? And the guy who just had his career moment takes the fall.
Yeah, of course. This match was, I don't know, man. I was kind of over it by that point, watching Survivor Series, watching Raw. But yeah, this, like, I know that they have the cards stacked against them with these injuries and everything, but they are not helping themselves. Like,
the injuries are not the cards. The cards are the fucking creative, and the card stacked is the fucking company.
That's what I'm saying. So they're not helping themselves by doing these awful things, like not following through. Like, Breeze had this good win, would it kill you to pin someone else here?
Like Ziggler, like the guy who fucking well, I guess he's the default guy.
No, you could pin Ziggler because he got thrown to the steps. So you use that.
But he's the tag team partner.
I don't fucking know.
They wanted to give the faces the victory. So who are you gonna pin? The guy that's been running from you the whole time that you want to build a fucking hardcore match moving forward, or the fucking newbie who beat a guy that didn't really matter?
You're right. I don't know. I just think you don't have to do the match. You could have done something else.
You could have had Bo Dallas with Owens.
Yeah, you could have done something.
That's what I think that would have made more sense. Hell, you could have brought up Fandango. Cause we're done. We just had the fucking Survivor Series match. They just blew off the feud between Ziggler and fucking and Breezy.
Yeah.
Young Breezy.
Young Breezy.
Yeah, that's Young Breezy.
And then we go into the main event: Rusev versus Reigns with Sheamus at ringside. All right match. They couldn't really put Roman down. Lots of 2 counts here. But then all of a sudden Barrett runs in and just attacks Roman Reigns. I guess now that faction, Rusev, Barrett, and Sheamus, are now like the new authority.
I like it. I might have to like it.
You don't have to like it. I'm neutral to it. It's whatever. It's kind of just like...
You're going to like it. You're going to fucking love it. And you're going to fucking like to love it.
Why is this?
I'm telling you. This is an order, soldier.
Whatever.
This is an order. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be great.
It's bad. I don't see why. I would like it if it was on Rusev. I guess that's nitpicking because he's never had it before. At least it'd be different. At least it'd be new. It'd be someone I would feel is more deserving in the ring, more deserving on the mic.
Owens.
No, I'm saying Rusev.
I know. I'm just saying in general.
Oh, well, I think Rusev is just hands down better than Sheamus. I think Barrett's better than Sheamus. I don't like... If you watch Sheamus work, you can see him counting the steps. He's never been good. The only reason he's good is because he kisses Triple H's ass, and now they put it part of the storyline because everyone already knows it. So that's just the truth. That's the fact of the matter. You can do it, but fuck you.
I like that 3-man team before they even join in, before all the shenanigans.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I think for what they were, and we've talked about this before, you look at it.
I think Sheamus looks great as a faction guy, but now that he's this leader of this faction with guys that are obviously, that you can just tell are better workers than him and better all-around characters.
I feel like that's... I don't feel that way. I think they all have their individual strengths. I think...
What is Sheamus' strength?
Sheamus' strength is to give you a hard battle. Like he's a brawl guy. I think he does have technical ability. I mean, I think you just have bias against him.
He does not have technical
ability. He does. I think he does.
I guess enough to put...
He didn't just fall off the back of a truck now.
He worked out with Triple H and then he got put over. That's it. That's what happened.
He was like the biggest... He was the big... Sheamus was a babyface in England. And he was like one of the big... He was the John Cena of England.
No.
Yes. Before he came over to the WWE, he had been babyface his entire career.
Okay.
And so he was the biggest commodity in England. He got fucking found by Triple H, brought over to be that guy in the WWE. Very much like Mystico or, say, what Sin Cara was supposed to be.
Are you sure about this?
Very sure. Dude, yeah. It threw me off when I found out about that.
He cannot work. And
he can work.
You need to show me evidence of him doing a move better than someone else in the company.
Again, I think that's your personal preference. I'm not saying you're wrong because that's your preference. I mean, that's your opinion, that's your preference. I just think differently.
Every time you put the belt on him, numbers drop. Like, it's a known fact that that
he's not liked.
This opinion, this opinion is popular. Like, and there's a reason it's popular.
No. That he's not liked is popular. I think it's however you feel about, because not all of us have the same. It's not a linear idea of what wrestling is. You have yours. I have mine. Everyone has their own. And to say he's not popular, okay, that's a universal. I think that's a universal thought. But I don't think it's because of his. I don't think it's because of his talent or lack thereof. I just think he has been booked into an unpopular situation.
he cannot get over. He does not get over. He doesn't do it. They've tried and they tried and they tried, and it doesn't work. Never has. And this Raw is indicative of it. I mean, if you want to do it, I mean, it's your company. Do whatever you want, but you're going to see the same result as you saw before about him not getting over.
Well, it's not a lot left in this. And again, I can't take it serious because this is a filler moment in the WWE like enterprise and storyline. This is filler. I can't expect much out of this. I'm not like having high hopes. I want to be entertained. That's it. Give me entertainment. They're not giving the people what they want. Slash and burn. I say just slash and burn it. If they showed up next Monday and all of a sudden Kevin Owens just out of the blue is the heel.
Oh, well.
Fucking no, just hear me out. If, like seriously, I don't care. Give the people what they want. If all of a sudden Sasha Banks walks out as the Divas champion with no backstory. They just fuck this. Walk out as a champion. That would be
bad. That'd be awful. That'd be a new low.
No, I'm just saying in general, like slash and burn. What's happening right now and what the Raw ratings are at this time is that the people are fed up. They're sick of being fed Roman Reigns. And again, if he doesn't have the belt, he's still in the main event picture. Like that belt is nothing more.
Well, no, it's all about Roman Reigns, though. That's the whole thing. Is you can accomplish what they're doing with the belt on Roman. You could have Sheamus come in, put the Money in the Bank up, surprise Roman, then Roman beats him. That crowd was cheering for Reigns once they noticed that it could have gone on Sheamus. Immediately. Once he speared Triple H, the crowd, instead of booing Roman Reigns for the first time ever, started cheering for Roman Reigns. And then you had the bro kick happen. And then right then at that moment, the crowd was still cheering for Roman Reigns. So then you have Sheamus lose the Money in the Bank title, and then that could be his heat. I'm not completely against Sheamus being in a match versus Roman Reigns. And especially if he's just going to be a part of this like lackey faction, why not just have the belt on Reigns if it's going to be on Sheamus? I never thought it was going to be good on Roman Reigns. I never thought I would be saying this. But if your two options that you're going to give me are the belt on a lackey member of this faction that used to be a B Squad faction up until 3 weeks ago, on Sheamus, who's already had the title, and you had to bring him down to the U.S. title. You had to bring him all the way down to like main event pre-show match level when he used to be the title, when he used to be the champion. Shows that he can't get over. And then you could have accomplished all that. They're saying, oh, the cards are stacked against him. They're doing so much to stack against Reigns. You could have done that. The cards stacked against him because they want to get the belt off of him. That's a better storyline. Putting it on Sheamus, yeah. I mean, I guess tell the kids that kissing ass does a long way on this world. I guess that's all you're saying is because that's all. That's all that happened. Sheamus kissed the right person's ass, and now he has an historic, like 5-10 year career. So that's all you gotta do, kids. Don't work hard. Don't be skillful at your craft. Just kiss ass.
I think that, yeah. I mean, if you feel that way, I think very much like myself and in my reaction video, I don't think there was cheers for Roman Reigns. I think people were cheering for the mere suspense of it all. Because they had been sitting on their hands the entire time.
They cheered when Roman Reigns when Triple H got speared. I think
that's how you feel.
No, Triple H got speared. They went crazy. They started cheering.
Because it's finally suspense. You will agree with me that that fucking pay-per-view was just no suspense whatsoever. It's like safe as fuck, and it took the last 5 minutes. It took the last 5 minutes to give us any form of entertainment, whether it was the spear to Triple H and the cash in by Sheamus. Now, even in my thing, I go, man, I did not want Sheamus to have that belt. This is to be the only time for pure entertainment purposes. Just pure entertainment purposes. It could have been anybody. It could have been anybody. But just for sheer entertainment purposes, I actually got worked up. That's all it was, and I think that was the crowd at that moment.
You got worked up when he cashed in. You didn't get worked up when he won.
Oh yeah, I got worked up when he won. Well, go watch my.
Okay.
Watch my.
They would have accomplished the same thing by having him come out and then having Roman beat him. You would have actually had a notified superstar, a guy who beat 3 people in one night, and then you'd have a reason to have him send people against him, and then you would have a reason for Triple H to come and get this faction together to beat Roman. Why does Triple H care about Roman Reigns anymore? Like, he didn't do anything. They won. They got Sheamus the belt. But if Roman had walked away with the belt, there would be a reason for Triple H to be pissed at Roman Reigns.
Well,
it's a bad storyline, and it's a bad.
I mean, it's obviously, but again, you're left with this. What you're left with. Again, I'm not against Sheamus having the belt for the purpose of what's going on now. I'm not against it. Okay, I don't want Sheamus in the main event, so yeah, put the belt on him. That belt is not a main event. It's not a main event. It's not main event. The main event is Triple H. So we're gonna get, again, in the main event, it's going to be Roman Reigns versus Triple H. So that belt is nothing. That belt could be on Hornswoggle for all I care.
Can I say something? Do you think that the belt being good is best for business and more entertaining?
Well, it's not any booking.
No, I'm saying, do you think that? Do you think if the belt meant more, it would be better for business and more entertaining?
I don't understand the question.
If the belt meant more, wouldn't that be better?
Oh, it'd be awesome.
Okay, so therefore you put it on Roman Reigns.
No.
Stop. And then you have the match Triple H versus Roman Reigns. So then you would elevate the belt and put it back where it needs to be by putting it in the main event feud.
A Band-Aid on a gunshot wound?
Why would that be a Band-Aid and a gunshot wound?
Because the belt hasn't meant anything.
The belt would be coming out in the main event against what you see as the main event. That's how it worked with Brock Lesnar, and that's why it became what it was.
Well, it hasn't been a main event for quite some time, Jake.
I know, and then going back to when it was the main event, which is what you're talking about, is when it was on Brock Lesnar. So then go back to that, put it on Roman Reigns, and then have him wrestle Brock Lesnar because
people don't like Roman Reigns.
They don't.
Well, Nashville loved Roman Reigns. I don't know, they loved Roman Reigns,
and I think that they loved him because this feud happened with him and Triple H and Sheamus. He's against Sheamus now, so of course people are going to cheer him against Sheamus. No one likes Sheamus. That's the only way they could have gotten Roman Reigns to cheer for him is if you put him against Sheamus, and you could still have put him up against Sheamus, but just put the belt on Roman Reigns because it makes the most sense.
Sheamus got heat too. He got mad heat.
He
got heat from you. Whether it's X-Pac heat or what, it's still heat.
No, X-Pac heat is not good. It's not good.
It's great. You're cheering, so you're gonna cheer. So everyone's cheering your heel fucking champion Roman Reigns.
People don't cheer.
And Rollins, he got cheered more than he got booed. And he's supposed to be your heel champion.
No. Okay.
There's a definite fucking guy to boo in this situation, and it's Sheamus.
Yeah, but that's eventually not going to happen because Sheamus is not compelling enough as an entertainer to do so. If you watch his matches, no one does anything for him. That's why he talks in silence. No one cares.
He gets booed. He's gonna get booed.
He does not. He get kind of booed, but not.
He gets a lot booed.
Not a 4-time world champion.
He gets a chant and everything. You look stupid. Hey, who else gets a chant?
So I mean, I guess if you work on a guy for 5 years, keep throwing him down someone's throat, they're gonna call him stupid. Yeah, that's true. But he is just garbage.
It's what it is, man.
He's garbage. He's garbage worker. He's not a good worker. Show me one time where you believe the Sheamus move. You can't show it to me because it's obvious.
That kick that he gave while all that confetti laying around.
That doesn't look
awesome.
real. It doesn't look real. He is not a good wrestler. He doesn't make it look authentic.
And even Monday, because what happens is
he doesn't make it look authentic.
Sheamus is ringside. He gets thrown out because he keeps getting involved. And then we get an awesome flying headbutt by Rusev. I popped for that. A good solid headbutt by a very athletic guy just works for me. Even though that's not protocol.
So then if they're all going to be part of the same faction, why not put it on Rusev?
This crowd is super Roman crowd. Like, this is super Roman Reigns crowd. But before this match could even end, you get the DQ because Barrett shows up with the bull hammer. But the only thing that pissed me off about this, right, it's like, well, I think if you're going to Cena this guy up, he shouldn't have been standing tall with the chair. He should have got the beat down of a lifetime. Because if you want to fucking... And we also get... we find out earlier, but he left Holder with a chair. So this week is a chair. Next week is going to be a ladder.
Next week is going to be a table, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to move forward. I only hope at some point, whether it's a ladder and a table, that Roman Reigns eats dirt rather than stand tall. Like, that's not how it works. Cena would have gladly gotten beaten the fuck out of with that chair. Gladly. Because that's how he gets his heat. That's how he gets over it in the end. No, not Roman. That's not how we keep Roman strong, Mr. Vince McMahon. We gotta fucking have him actually take out 3 guys with a chair and him stand strong. Now, How do you stand behind that? How do we sympathize for Roman Reigns?
Well, because Barrett brought the chair in.
Whatever, man. That's not how that shit works. You want to sympathize for the guy. I'm not going to sympathize for a guy who fucking takes out 3 dudes on a match that meant nothing.
But don't you think he already had the sympathy because
Nope.
he got the belt taken away from him on that bullshit?
He's still in the main event. And if he had to go, if I would sympathize the guy after he lick his wounds, and the next thing you know, he's fucking facing Curtis Axel. Then I'd be like, damn, that's a bad beat, fucking Roman Reigns. He just lost the title, and now he has to face Axel? That sucks. And then he has to face fucking Titus O'Neil. Man, that sucks. Then he has to, but at that process of him beating motherfuckers, move up the card back. He went to the back of the line. Now he's at top, and it's earned. It's earned.
He did that, though, with the world title tournament.
No, that wasn't. No, it wasn't. Because if you're going to, the belief, right? We all sat back and just like, well, who's going to be in the final? I guess Roman Reigns is. That's not going to the back of the line. It's him having to wrestle more, but not going to the back of the line.
I mean, that would have been good to do that way, but it's not necessarily the only good thing.
You want this guy over, you want sympathy for him. That's it. This is not the Daniel Bryan thing where you had Triple H.
People do have sympathy because he got the belt.
Triple H.
He got screwed over. The whole thing was the sympathy. The whole thing was sympathy because he got screwed over.
They give out screw overs like they give out fucking candy on Halloween.
Not
man.
Money in the Bank screw overs. It happens once a year.
They give out screw overs every fucking 4 months. Like who? Everyone gets screwed over.
No, but Money in the Bank screw overs happen once a year, and it happened twice to him.
That was a screw over in the fucking Divas match in the same fucking pay-per-view.
We
found out.
Not a screw over where someone else comes running in because they're distracted by the boss, like after you already faced in a match.
Well, no. Roman Reigns decided to spear Triple H.
True. Because Triple H has been a dick.
Triple H had his hand extended. And he could have been like, nah, I'm just going to walk out and seen Sheamus coming out. No, he decided to turn around, be a jerk, and spear. So, boom, he left himself open, right? He had 2 options, walk away or spear.
Sure.
Or a third, or to shake his hand.
Sure.
You got to stay on point.
Well.
So, there's no distraction here. He didn't get screwed over. His pride got in the way. And he fucked himself. Brett screwed Brett. Reigns screwed Reigns. And we got to get the fuck out of here. Because, again, my theory is that belt don't mean shit. And it's on a great person on Sheamus. And if you want Roman Reigns to have that belt, that means you don't want Roman Reigns in the main event picture.
No, I think it's a little reverse, man. I think you want the belt to mean something, and you can tell it will mean something more on Roman Reigns.
The fact that Roman Reigns doesn't have that belt means that he's still in the main event picture in the eyes of Vince McMahon. Or he would have the belt. It's that simple. It's that simple. Triple H he overshadows everybody. He ain't even a fucking in-ring guy anymore.
I know, this is all bad. This is not... This is not, yeah, it's bad. This is the reason why the ratings are dropping.
Yeah.
I personally don't, I can talk about it, but, I don't ever get enraged anymore. I don't ever,
You just enraged early.
Talking about what? Because you were talking about Sheamus being anything, but Sheamus is not...
I'm not going to, but it's not going to be a shit on Reigns, I'm not going to contribute to the shit on Sheamus party. You can shit on him all you want.
I know. The fact that upsets me that you can't see how bad he is, and
no, but I don't see him as bad.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It upsets me that you can't see how bad he is. It makes me think about your overall opinion on everything.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
All right, this is how we're into this. This is how we're into this.
I'm not saying
because it's just wrestling, man.
No. I was talking about wrestling. I wasn't talking about your opinion on everything.
Well, I'm very open about the way I feel about things.
Well,
I don't like to take things. The only thing I take personally.
I wasn't talking about your opinion on everything. I meant everything involving wrestling. I should have made that clear. I wasn't talking about your opinion on anything else.
I like to think that I have a good, solid foundation on wrestling, and I'd like to think that I'm more old school minded with wrestling. Things like heat, things like multiple moves, things like
Sheamus does not have either one of those.
Well, you know,
multiple moves.
We went from Sheamus to how I feel about wrestling in general. You just questioned should I even be doing a podcast? You know what? I shouldn't even be doing a podcast because the way I think, because I don't want to shit on Sheamus, is the fact that I don't even have enough logic to talk wrestling ever. That's how this podcast. That's how 66 will end. That's how 66 will end. You want to talk about your upcoming NXT reviews?
I mean, I'm just saying, it was just a point that I was making. It makes me think, like, man, if he likes Sheamus, what else does he like? What does he see in wrestling? What do you
Why did you say I like? I never said I liked him.
You talk about liking Sheamus all the time. You say Sheamus is your guy.
I said Sheamus has his moments. If you book him right, then he's going to shine. Not
true. They booked him with the title, and no one cared. They've already done that 3-4 times.
Well,
they booked him right. They did book him right, and no one cared. You book him right. The only reason he'll shine is because the lights are on him. He does not shine when you book him right. He hasn't done it 3 times. No, 3 times. He's been booked with King of the Ring. He's been booked 3 times world champion. He has not done it. People did not care. So people have shined on him, and he did not shine. They booked him in the right scenario. They booked him heel versus Cena. They booked him face as the champion, and he did not shine.
Who do you hate more, Nikki Bella or Sheamus now?
I don't like bad wrestling in general. And if anyone...
But that's your opinion on what is bad and what is good.
Mechanics. I'm talking about mechanically bad. I'm talking mechanically bad.
It's all person to person. It's all person to person.
Sure.
It's whatever you see versus whatever someone else sees. And hey, I find it.
But these 2 people you both named are obvious people that are getting in. Okay, Nikki Bella dates everyone in the company, and that's how she's famous.
Let's end this.
No,
let's end this. This is not going anywhere.
And then
we're
Sheamus.
We're 2 hours in. You've made your point. Get your plugs in.
I'm saying, okay, the 2 people you did name are people that obviously just do backstage stuff, backstage politics, and that's how they got there. If that's what you see in wrestling and that's why you like it, then fine.
Stop talking about my wrestling, okay?
I'm not talking about you. If one sees that and that's why they like wrestling is because they like backstage politics, then yeah, those would be your guys.
No, stop, because you're implying something with me that's
absolutely
false.
I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about you.
Let's plug and get the hell out of here. It's 2 hours in.
I just want to make it clear. I wasn't talking about you about that. I said when I said you, I meant like the general you. Like if one is watching wrestling because they like backstage politics,
but no one's factoring in backstage politics.
That's the only reason these people are on TV, man. I promise you that. I promise you.
Either way, man. Who cares? Let's just get the fuck out of here. Let's go.
I don't have to plug him. It's not a rule.
Well, okay. Thanks for listening to the Peter and Jake Talks Wrasslin podcast. Hit the subscription button below. Leave a comment. That'd be awesome. Follow me at PJTW Central. You can follow him at JG Pro Wrestling. He has a podcast called Faster Than the World, and he's also part of Outside Interference with the legal man Mark. What's his name?
Mark Charles.
Mark Charles. It's worth listening to. They get into news. They get into in-ring. They get into everything. Those guys are awesome. Also, with the Fast in the World podcast, they review NXT. So if you look up JG Pro Wrestling on SoundCloud, you can find it. Or you can also Google Faster Than the World podcast. It's Jake, Uncle Fritz. PJTW Central Content. You got Peter's Raw Recap. You got the New Day podcast. They both show up on Monday. No New Day podcast because I worked on my reaction videos. We'll be back next week. Me and Nathan Newman. We're gonna be talking about the news and everything that's been going on in the world of wrestling. We got Peter and Jake Talks Wrestling. Next week will be 67. We have I think 38 of Peter Talks SmackDown coming up this week. Or not. It is Thanksgiving. I might have to take the week off for that. But and then that's about it. I think the next thing I'm going to review, y'all got the NXT London, which I thought was today.
It's not today.
It's not today. So
I think it might be next week.
It'd be next week? Okay. So you'll see me, I guess, Monday for Peter's Raw Recap. You want to plug? Or I did do your plug for you?
Yeah, I appreciate that.
You get so worked up over Nothing. I don't want to get worked up.
Explaining my points. I do not. If you're saying that the reason you're saying, yeah, people have objectives, but like if you watch wrestling, I guess to see technique, multiple moves, compellable characters. Sheamus, you can't check any of that shit off. Cookie cutter character, awful in the ring, and can't cut a promo very well. He can't do any of that. He needs to go NXT developmental. He needs Sheamus. They need Sheamus in developmental because they need their world champion in developmental. Man, this is how bad it is. He's awful. And the only reason he's good is because he did the right, he helped out Triple H. He lifts weights with Triple H. That's why he's where he is. That's why he wasn't, fired. That's why they fired Yoshitatsu instead of him when they both fought, is because he's buddies with Triple H. Nikki Bella, you bring up, she dated everybody. Even when they were supposed to be training, there's stories about how any legend would come and she would just hit on instead of training. It's obvious that these people get where they're going not because of ability.
Close it out.
They get where they're going not because of ability. I prefer ability because that's what's entertaining to me. They're not my friends, they're my entertainers.
Close it out. Close it out.
Last name, last word. Watch out for those foreign objects.